Okay, hello. Maybe it works now. Oh, you can hear me, thank God. Okay, so it's nice to know I just used so much time to explaining an interesting story and then you didn't hear anything. So I need to go back then. Okay, so basically, that also means you haven't heard the beginning of the stream. Oh my God. Okay, so to make the thing to tell the story short, what I am doing is I'm starting a new series where I talk about the dreams until the dreams I've had. And no, before you think, ew, I need for you guys to remember one thing because that is I rarely, and I will say this again, you can believe me if you want or not, but I am one of those unlucky guys who rarely, and I mean rarely, ever get any wet dreams. I can't even remember last time I had one because all my dreams are about stories or scary scenarios. Like stories as in adventurous, like you go on adventures or you save humankind. I don't know, something. And sometimes there are some very scary scenarios in it. And then after the dream I had today, which was very fucked up, it was very terrifying on a psychological, but also like in a way physical level. It was really fucking weird. It was very disgusting in the end, and you would find out why. Okay, so let's start from the beginning. Because also one thing I need to mention also because the mic was muted, because many of you people might assume that because I'm talking about two other VTubers that I'm basically describing what they look like in real life. I will say this, I am not describing what they look like in real life because one, I don't know, and two, I'm not planning to be a douchebag for anyone. I'm not trying to like what's the word? What's it called? I'm not trying to be the bad guy. So keep in mind when I explain everything about Lumi and Mary, it's only in the dream. It's got nothing to do, and I mean nothing to do with what they look like in real life, how they are in real life, or anything. Okay, this is only a dream, purely speculation, purely some kind of weird, like it's purely something my mind has put together on its own and trying to visualize randomly what they looked like without any, and I mean any preferences, any insult, any info. Okay, so keep in mind when I say and talk about these two people and just VTubers in general, I'm not describing what they look like. I'm only saying what has happened and what happened in the dream. Okay, just a disclaimer. So you guys are not going around and clipping this and then putting it out and thinking I'm disclosing what they look like and all stuff because I don't know. I don't even know myself, and I'm not planning on to be that kind of guy. So please stop thinking if that's what you're thinking right now because it's not gonna happen. And also, there's no way that I can have a dream, but I can be exact on what they look like in real life. So also, just keep that in mind. Also, one other thing in mind, I'm bad at drawing, very bad at drawing. I don't know how to draw, and you guys might say, well, how did you make the drawings you've drawn up to now? Then like how did you make those drawings? I draw over and over and over and over and over for hours and 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 hours just to make one drawing. And as I said, I'm only drawing for fun. I have no idea on how to draw actually. Like I've never drawn to learn, I've only drawn for fun. So also keep in mind this is gonna be very crappy drawings. Just as you saw in the beginning of the stream, or the last stream or whatever you call it, where I didn't even try. Like, what is this? Like, what is this? Okay, so okay. I'm gonna try and explain. Also, one thing, it's gonna be very difficult for me to see, to like read the whole story because I put it in a notepad, like a text document file, and I can't really like. There's too much text, so bear in mind that may be a little delayed reaction to if you type in the chat. So like, if you're texting to me, I might not see it at the exact time because there's too much stuff on my screen right now. So, with enough of that, I will try and still tell the story while it's like almost not doable at all, but like a little bit. So this dream here starts off like this. So I find myself in my dad's car. I'm dozing off. Like I'm not even aware at where I'm at in the world. Like where am I? I only know I'm in my dad's car and I'm slowly dozing off, like from waking up, like I've been sleeping, I think. And I'm sitting like the front passenger seat while my dad is driving. We're driving on the road in a place like in the middle of nowhere. There's literally nothing. It's just fields and fields. And it's one road driving across. There are no, and I will say this again, there are no other roads connected in the sides of this road. It's just one road going through many fields. There are no other roads connected to this one road. And then there's a few houses that like pops up like from very long distances away from each other. In like some are like in the middle of the fields, some are like close to the road. You get what I mean. It's like small houses, so it's not like a farm, but it's like just small houses placed weirdly long distances from each other alongside the road. And I kind of like slowly wake up, and then I ask my dad, "Where are we going?" Like while gaping. Like, I'm so tired. And I'm like, whatever. I look. This is the thing I'm gonna draw in, and then I forgot to say this. My sister is in the back seat, and this is where I'm already noticing something is off. Okay, so this is the seat. No, this is the seat. I'm sitting here, and the back seat here is where my sister is. Okay, she's sitting here. The window here. She's looking straight ahead. Like sitting like she's probably daydreaming or something. Just laying here. I don't know, down here. She's not really doing anything specifically. I think she's just daydreaming. I don't know. But the thing I notice is there's something awful is her face, because while she might look like she's daydreaming, there's something weird with her. Like it looks like she's not looking at anything, but she's still making an impression, if you know what I mean. So her eyes are like, I don't know what is happening to her, but her eyes are like they're very big, in the sense that she looked like she's scared, but also sad. But it's like she's putting on a poker face, like she's trying to fake a smile. I don't know what is happening to her. Like she doesn't look like she's going insane, but it's literally just like it looks like she's scared of something, like something is about to happen or anything. And I'm just looking here, like, what the hell are you doing? Why you look like you've seen a ghost? Why you so crazy? What you do? Why you look like that? Okay, why am I doing an Asian? What the thing? But I look at her and I'm like, what? Why? What? And I was like, for some reason I didn't ask her if anything was wrong. I was just like, I think nothing of it, and then I continue to just lay here, just like, oh, I'm tired, like, so tired. I'm just laying here, okay? Why does it working me like? And my dad is he's still driving. He's not even talking. He's probably daydreaming actually, if I think about it. He's probably, I don't know why I'm doing that face, but he's probably just daydreaming. Just looking in front, driving, making sure he doesn't crash. And then the thing happens where, like, we finally arrive. It was a long road actually. We finally arrive at the house, like at the place. It's as I said, it's in the middle of nowhere, so it was like the road was going like this. Like, imagine the horizontal line is like this, or not like this. Like, you know what I mean? I can't really draw straight. You know I'm not good at drawing, okay? So we drive here, whatever. I don't know what this is. This is the car. I say this is the car, okay? And we basically we come across this house. This house, okay, it's very like it's in an I shape, and it has multiple layers actually. Before you have the roof. The roof is just flat. There's nothing over here. This is just like it's a kind of very flat V shape. And you have the house here, and you have like a hedge, that forms like a fence all the way around, all around the plot, like around the area around the house. And you have like the front garden over here, and you have like a gravel like area over here, which is for people who are parking outside, and then you have a garage over here or something like that. I don't know. You know what I mean? And it formed like in an L shape, so it makes the house look like it's in an L shape, but it's actually just in an I shape because you can't see it right now from the angle I'm drawing. But there's a very small area in between the garage and the house where you can actually walk in between, and then the front door is somewhere over here, and there's like stairs inside of here. We'll get to that. And then we have some windows here, and window here, and window here. And well, it's a very nice house actually. It looks kind of like it's a semi-modern style house. It's not very modern. It's not like futuristic, but it doesn't look old, if you know what I mean. It looks like a normal modernized house, which is kept very clean and nice. And remember also, this is still in the middle of nowhere, so there are like fields all over the place, like back here and over here. There's a few trees. This inside the house, so this garden place, I don't know. There's a few like trees staying in a corner. And let's see the entrance. Yeah, I said that. We park outside, and then we actually go out of the car. We go out of the car to go in front of the door, and then we ring on the door. And when the door opens, we are met with two people actually. We are met. This is where they're standing. We met with a very tall guy, and I wouldn't say she's small. She's like maybe, I don't know, somewhere around almost 170 centimeters. I don't know. She was smaller than me. She was not higher than me. She was lower than me, but she was not small per se, because 170 centimeters for a girl is actually very high. But whatever. And then this is her dad, which is called Eric, and we call her Lisa just because, I don't know, it's a name I made up because I didn't actually get their names in the dream. It was more like I just kind of talked to them, and we were good friends in a way. we actually hang out, we have a great time without even knowing each other's names also. But it was like we kind of knew our names, but we didn't say them. It was kind of weird. Like we were just used. It was like we were just used to being together, like talking to each other, like old friends or something like that. So she was standing here, and this is her dad, and he had like a beard. If I remember, he had a beard, a big face and a beard. His face was like actually almost too big. Like it looks like it was almost too big for his body ratio. Like it's almost off, but it was just what it looked like. Okay, and he's a brunette. So he has brown hair, and it was kind of brown dyed hair. I don't know. And he wore like a what? What did he wear? He wore like a brown shirt, yeah, and dark blue jeans. Ignore the heights. I know this looks weird. And the girl also. See, this is where already one of the things. I know this is probably a stereotypical thing to say, but I'm not trying to be that kind of guy. But this is basically, this is kind of weird. But the girl, why is it? Where is it? Wait, what the fuck? Oh yeah. Okay, so the girl. This is where I've explained what she looks like. We call her Lisa. The girl is wearing very fashionable jeans. By that I mean very stylized. Like they had some crazy looking symbols, and there are also like holes in the jeans, but it looks very stylized and cool. And she also had a gray t-shirt on. And here's the thing also. This is where I probably it's gonna sound like I'm stereotyping. She has very bright blonde hair, almost so bright actually. This is also a thing I noticed. Actually, so bright that if the outside light, like the sun, hits her hair, it looks almost like it's white. Like that's how bright her blonde color is, hair color. And she also had like blue eyes. Like it was not bright blue eyes, it was more like dark blue eyes, in fact. And she also seemed very energetic in her way of being welcoming and friendly to newcomers. Also cheery, and she seemed like a caring person because she was like already beginning to ask if my sister was okay because she still had the poker face on her. And as I said, they seemed very friendly and very welcoming, and they also were. They were very nice. We go in and then we greet the other people because we knew there were all the people. Like it was a family meetup. Well, some friends also. So obviously there were gonna be other people in the house. So we go in to the house, and one of the first people we meet is an old man with grey hair and brown eyes. He's wearing like a great sweater, which is kind of weird because it was a very hot day that day. So why would you wear a sweater? We're just asking to be sweaty. But God, it's so annoying to swipe left and right. But where did we come to? Okay, and it's Lisa's grandpa, as I also tell. Oh my god, so much text and I can't even scroll correctly. It's Lisa's grandpa, and what the fuck are you doing? Okay, never mind. I'm just gonna ignore the chat because I'm not gonna be able to write this if this keeps happening. So we can talk afterwards. So what did we come to? So it's Lisa's grandpa, the old guy with grey hair and brown eyes and wearing a grey sweater. And then there's like one of Eric's friends, other friends, I mean, he's also here because my dad is Erik Trent, obviously, as I said in the beginning. He's not very tall, and he has the funniest humor. He's very talkative, especially with Lisa's grandpa. Actually, they kind of got the chemistry going. Like the thing, they had a lot of great conversations with each other, and they laughed a lot. So they seemed like they were getting to be very good friends with each other. And there's also a couple, one couple, like I think it was one of Mary's other what's called one of his other cousins, actually, which he has his girlfriend with. He was together with his girlfriend. That's why I'm saying it's a couple. So one of Mary's other cousins came over also with his girlfriend, and his other cousin looked like he was like in the end of his 20s. He was wearing glasses, and he had like brown. Where is it? What you fucked up with Jesus? He was wearing like black glasses, and he also had like brown hair, and he was wearing very dark, like very black clothes. I don't know why people are wearing black clothes in the middle of like nowhere where there's a lot of sun. You're just asking to get burned, die like a burning crispy human. And his girlfriend was wearing actually blue clothes, I think, with white shoes, and she looks like she was from Asia. I don't know. She also was kind of sweet. And they just kind of talk to each other, like in you also always have this kind of group. You know what I mean? Like you have the adults talking, then you have the other adults talking, and then you have the kids talking. Like people who always talk to each other for a long time instead of all people just talking to each other. And the couple kind of talked a lot with the adults, like the older, like my dad, Lisa's dad, grandpa, the other guy, and me and obviously by this point now, Mary and Lumi doesn't know that I have a suspicion who they are. I also don't know who they are yet. But the thing that happens is after we greet them, we go outside, and Joe inside outside, and we enjoy the weather. And at some point, this is where Mary comes up. Okay, at some point, while we are sitting outside on the outside benches and just enjoying the weather, he suddenly pops up and runs over to me, and it's like, sorry for the late introduction. I'm M. Frederik. Yeah, he said M, so he was about to screw up, and I think the reason was because he was actually streaming, and that's why it took a little bit longer for him to get down and say hi to the other people. But I ignored and tried not to react to it, like his mistake of how he said his name. And where is it? Oh yeah. We're heading outside with a very hurt. One guy comes out from the house into the garden. A little later, we call him. A little later, he's Lisa's cousin. He also got blonde hair, but more like golden colored hair, like golden. If you know what I mean, like it's golden, but it's still blonde. It's not brown. It's blonde, but it's golden in a way. When the light hits it. He's wearing like a white T-shirt, also jeans. He also got one earring actually, which is kind of weird why I would imagine that. He got one earring, which is formed like a blue volleyball, but it's straight into the ear. It's not hanging, it's straight into the ear. And It's on his left here. He's around the same height as me, a little bit taller, but yeah, he seems like a party guy actually when I meet him the first time. Who loves? He also, I don't know why I think that, but he looks like he loves being sarcastic, but is also a very chill guy. He comes out saying, yeah, this is what I said before. He comes out saying, sorry for the late introduction. I'm Im, Frederik. And that's where my suspicion about Lisa, because when she opened the door, I had a suspicion because the way she was dressed and her looks. She kind of looked like Lumi, but in real life, obviously. But I was like, nah, whatever, must be a coincidence. And that's where, obviously, because he did the mistake with his name, I kind of already got my suspicion that she was someone else. So now I have two people that I think is someone else. But I'm pretty sure they are actually. Like I'm 100% sure. For some reason. And after he did that, I try not to react as I said before. But we talk to each other. It seems like Lisa and my sister are getting along. My sister also doesn't look like she's putting on the poker face anymore. While me and Mary is having a blast. Obviously, I know this is just a dream, but Jesus, Mary and me, we had so much fun. It was ridiculous. That's how much we laughed at each other and just had fun. It was weird. Like we began talking to each other and like we essentially was being super sarcastic. We made sarcastic jokes like on a brutal level. Like it was so fucking fun. And we were trying our best not to laugh at each other because it was like, I don't know, we thought it was like a competition. Like if the one laughed, the one loses. It was so hard not to laugh, and it was so freaking fun. Even though I can't remember what we said, but it was ridiculously fun. And at some point, we both laughed and we just gave up, and we just kept being sarcastic and using sarcastic jokes, and just laughed, and we didn't even try to compete with each other anymore. It was freaking hilarious. And then afterwards, when we just finally cool down a little, we go out a little bit further into the garden, near the kitchen, because they have sun lounges where you can lay down and enjoy the sun. So we go over there and we enjoy the sun. And at some point, I'm like, you know what? Screw it. I'm gonna YouTube myself. I'm gonna ask him. So I ask if he got any interests, that's hobbies. And the fun thing is, he seems a little hesitant before he actually tells me, because he tries actually to make it sound like his hobbies are not what they are. So he says something else to make it seem like it's something else. He's like, I'm actually a writer. I write books daily on documentaries on like how true to not true they are, and also make stories for theater plays, and I swim a lot. And afterwards he's like, so what are your interests? And this is so fun. And I answer like, well, I rarely do it, but sometimes I draw manga. And like I'm not good at it because I don't know how to draw, but I rarely draw, but sometimes I do. I also sometimes make videos YouTube just for fun, not something serious at all. And this is where I'm like, oh yeah, and I'm a streamer. In fact, I'm a VTuber. And then I look at him, not trying to laugh and crack a smile. And then, like a few seconds after, he literally cracks a smile. And I say, by the way, I know what your hobbies are. You kind of fucked up when you tried to introduce to me who you were, like later, like before. Don't worry, I'm not gonna do anything because we're in the same boat together. But you know what I am gonna do? I'm gonna laugh hysterically at your face because, oh, Jesus, you look funny. of the face you made. Like I'm gonna laugh hilariously of the face you just made because it was so fun. He was trying his best not to disclose who he was, and you could so easily see he was so bad at hiding it. It was so fun. It was so hilarious. But then afterwards, a little bit after, he's like, well, maybe it's dinner time soon. So we go inside, and yes, it's about actually to get. We're about to have dinner, and after like we had a lot of different food, like amazing food. It was delicious. We had a lot of differently prepared potatoes and fish and beef, and that's basically what we ate. And then after we finished the dish, this is where everything begins to go a little sauce, a little weird. We After we ate the dinner, my dad gets a call about from work that he needs to get over to over the company and work immediately. That's an emergency. They don't have like the amount of people they need, and also he kinda had to work late at night for the most part. So he actually asks, like my dad asks Lisa's dad if me and my sister can stay over the night, and then my dad can come get us next day in the morning because he's gotta go right now. He can't even drive me and my sister back to our mom yet because that's how big of an emergency it is. So as the good friends he is, Lisa's dad, he says yes, surely, but I can't promise they are here tomorrow. He says that obviously in a joking manner. And then my dad is just like, okay, well, see ya. And then we stay over at the house. Me and my sister. Whoa. Me and my sister. Let's see if I can find it. We stay over the house, and me and my sister, we get like 2 mattresses. And we are in this. Oh, this is hard to go. We are in this kind of. We're inside this like living room, and we're like, okay, I'm doing it like this. So we are watching TV because we found out actually in their households they have no rules of when they go to sleep, because if they lose the amount of sleep they need, it's their problem. So as long as you're not loud, obviously you're allowed to be awake as long as you want. So me and my sister, we on all of these couches. They have like 3 couches or something. You would think they're rich or something, I don't know. But we lay on the couch, and like she's laying on the couch and I'm laying on the couch this way. We're watching TV, just dozing off, just having a nice chill time. While Mary is probably upstairs screaming again, and Lumi is probably, I don't know, drawing something, I don't know. And they have, by the way, they have 2 dogs. They have one dog which is called Kaylee, which is a dog that is big, but it doesn't have much fur actually. Or rather, it's it's not big. It's a very small dog, but it doesn't have a lot of fur. And then they have another dog, which is called Fila, which has a lot of fur, and it's also very big. Like, or not very big, but like it's bigger than the smaller one. So it's not a big dog, but it's smaller than the small, if you know what I mean, okay? Fila is bigger than Kaylee. Okay? So, but the thing is, I'm laying down here, just doing like nothing, using the remote to switch the channel and all that. But at some point, one of the dogs, like the Fila, is just like, hops, I'm gonna take this, and then I'm gonna run. I'm gonna run away. I don't know. I know this looks like terrifying. I don't know. I know I can't draw, okay? But the Fila, she takes the remote and then she runs off. And I'm like, oh my god, I need to go up and get the remote. So I am slowly standing up. Okay, I don't even care how fast he is. I'm just gonna walk after her slowly, and at some point, I get to the not the kitchen. Get to the hallway where they have the stairs, which leads up to the first floor, and this is where I walk up. So the door to the entrance is right here, okay, but the stairs is this way, and the floor starts somewhere around here. So you go this way up, and then you are basically you're right here. So this is the stairs, okay, and this is also this is this is where the living room is. But you also they have like an extra living room this way, but it's not really a living room. It's more like it's just a room to have that big dinner table. But we were eating over here before, and then they have a wall this over here. But there's also a room besides over here, because the living room goes around. It goes around this way, and if you go all the way back the wall over here, you have the kitchen. Okay, so that's basically it. Okay, they also have the parents' room is over here, obviously, like this way over here. I know this is very confusingly drawn, but whatever. And I follow the dog. She's he moves this way up, and I'm around here. And I still don't know where she's going. I only can hear she's going up the stairs. And I get up the stairs, and the next thing that I come up to is obviously the second floor, where you have both Mary's room, and you have Rumi's room, you have the guest room, a bathroom, and obviously the hallway. So you have the hallway. Let's say this is the hallway, okay? You have this is the edge. So you have the bathroom actually as the first thing when you come up the stairs this way. And you have Mary's room is over here, and Rumi's room is actually over here. And the guest room, well, yeah, it's over here, obviously. Actually, no, I think it's over here, and then you have the window here. That's correct. Okay, so Mary is. I'm walking up here. I'm looking this way. I'm just looking. Looking for the dog. I'm not even caring about trying to look for the dog. And because I was actually gonna go over and ask Mary if he can if he can help me find Fila. But when I get up the stairs, I noticed that Mary. But Mary is actually also looking for something. He's just come out of his door because he searched his room. He's looking for his favorite shirt, which he obviously can't find. So he sees me, and we almost immediately we just know, okay, we're gonna have a conversation. So we talk to each other, and I tell him, well, I'm looking for Fila because she stole the remote. And then Mary's gives it his smiles and says well, yeah, she does that a lot. She just wants some attention. And I say okay, so what about you? Well, I've been looking for my favorite shirt, but I can't find it. And I'm well, okay, what about we help each other? So if I help you find your favorite shirt, will you help me find Fila? And we agree each other and say, yes, sure, whatever, let's do that. And after that, we search his room again, and then afterwards, I'm a little behind. I'm about to go into the guest room because he told me I can just go in there. There's no one living in there. I was about to go in there, and then the bathroom, Mary's in the bathroom over here, and he finds the dog Fila over here. She's munching on the remote, by the way, and so Mary's Anrax, come over here. So come over. So I'm like here, and I'm moving over here, blah blah blah. And I notice Fila, and then I go over and take the TV remote from Fila. But also one other weird thing that also happened. Kind of weird why we laughed at it, but when we were in the bathroom, okay, when we were in here, we basically, like, because of the lights doesn't work, they had to have someone fix the light, but obviously it was getting late, so we couldn't just call anyone. We had to wait for the next day. So me and Mary, we were in the bathroom. We have this. They had this very big mirror. Okay, and like the discs around here or something. And then the toilet is longer this way. Okay, so Mary was like here, and I was like here, and when after we stood up after the dog had walked away, and we was standing up, we looked in the mirror, and weirdly creepy enough, both me and Mary looked like the same person. But not like in the sense that, you know, like we looked like each other physically, but more like it was so dark, and because we were both blonde, by the way, he looked at like the only difference was I had a beard and I had a more like smaller face. Not to say he had a big face, he was actually very handsome, but never mind that. We both look at each other and we laugh because in the dark, because it was so dark, the head shape we had, weirdly enough, was close to each other. So we kind of looked like each other if you ignored the beard, and it was kind of creepy. I don't know why we laughed at it, but it was, I don't know, guess it was so creepy we laughed at it for some reason. Then we go out of the bathroom again, and we continue searching because we obviously haven't found his thing yet, his favorite shirt. So we look and we look and we look. We look all over, in all the places, all of the doors. There's literally like nothing. There are like no. We can't find anywhere. No, nothing. Not even the guests. Well, no one. Well, they tend to have a lot of clothes stored. Actually, they don't even have it there. So we go down. Me and Mary. We go down the stairs, and we find. Like we as we're going down the stairs, here, okay? As we're going down the stairs, this is also fun. As we're going down the stairs, right here, Mary is like right here, and I'm like somewhat further down from here. We as we go down, we see Lisa right here, and here is where I fuck up. Okay, this is where I screw up because I've already gotten used to calling Mary Mary instead of Polly, but what I forgot was I knew Lisa was Lumi, but the thing is, then I actually when I asked her if she's seen his favorite shirt because we're searching, I accidentally asked, "Hey Lumi, have you seen Mary's shirt? Favorite shirt?" And the fun thing was she just stood there, like surprised, like, how did you know? And this is what, how did you know? And well, how did you know? And then I answer, well, this is fun. Well, I kinda got the feeling who you were when you greeted us by the door, because sorry to say so, but you're not really hiding it well. For one, you have blue eyes. Second, your hair color is literally almost the same as your VTuber. when the sun hits you, the sunlight hits your hair. Third, you're wearing blue ribbons that look like you were trying to give yourself a twin tail, but gave up midway, and you left the 2 ribbons still in your hair. 4, your voice. 5th, you're showing you reach yourself when you're talking to my sister. So you were too obvious. I say to her, and Lumi kind of was embarrassed by that fact. But then like I say, then I say, well, I'm a VTuber too, so don't worry about it. And then she's like, she's kind of angry, like she's like, she says, yeah, I know, like she knew me, like she was kind of annoyed by it. And Mary and me just laughed hysterically. It was so fun. We laughed our asses off. And then Lumi asks if here's where, okay, so this is where everything is gonna go disturbing and go wrong and creepy and all that stuff. Okay, so Lumi asks, where's my sister? Well, have you seen where your sister is? Because I can't find her. And then I ask Lumi, well, isn't she in the living room? And Lumi answers back, no, she's not. I've been looking for almost over 30 minutes now. She's not downstairs. And Mary says, well, she's also not upstairs because we've looked in all the rooms for my very shirt and we didn't see any people up there. So by this point, like, she's completely gone, okay? So we start looking outside the house, and remember, the outside, it's mostly just like big fields. There's literally nothing to hide behind, because even the houses are so far away that there would have been no chance for her to get over behind one of the houses in even over 30 minutes. It would be impossible. Like, that's how far out in the middle of nowhere they lived. Okay? So we're looking outside, it just literally just feels. So but this we keep looking, even in the garage and all that stuff. And by this point, she's just completely gone. We're so stressed by it and worried about her because we don't know where she's gone. And it's by this point that it's already so late at night that we're just like, you know what? We may be douchebag for doing this, but we need to get some sleep. And well, we couldn't sleep, obviously. So we just tried to go to bed. I couldn't sleep because I had the thought that someone else was still in the building trying to do the same to me. Because like how did she disappear under 30 minutes without anyone noticing? Also, how did she leave our field of view without we couldn't even see her in the distance? Like how? We even walked like a few hundred meters away from the house. We still couldn't see her. We couldn't even notice people in the distance. There was no one in the distance. We were all alone in the middle of nowhere. Kind of scary in a way, actually. But we got stressed over the as I said, and well, we go to sleep and we can't sleep because of her disappearance, worries us. And the morning starts, and my dad comes up to pick up us, well, me at this point. But my dad doesn't actually ask where my daughter is because, well, he says he's gonna stay over a little, so he just thinks that she's somewhere in some room or whatever. And obviously Lumi and Mary doesn't say anything because, well, also I don't say anything. We don't know what to tell them. Like, we're so confused and scared at this point. We don't know what to say. We're just trying to act normal, actually, which was also very hard, and we kind of was a little awkward around Mary and Mary's parents and like Lumi's dad. It was very weird. But my dad stays over a little before we go home, as I said before, and the other family members of Mary and Loomis comes over. So yeah, there's even more people coming over to party later. And they it's like a drinking party, I think. And a little after that, my dad says, "Oh, we should probably go home now." So and Lumi, so Mary and Lumi comes over to me and to say goodbye and wishes good luck on finding her. And my dad is like, "Do you guys know where your sister is? Like, where is she?" And Mary and Lumi just says, "Don't worry about it." And I also say that, and I say to my dad that I will explain it to him when we get out to the car. And he's like, "Okay, so whatever, guy." But before we go, I asked Lumi one last thing because did my sisters talk about anything yesterday? Anything she might have seemed scared of? And Lumi says yes. She did say she had a very short dream of a forest and mushrooms while driving over here yesterday on her way over to us. So, and remember, there are no foresters like even near them. It's at least 10, maybe even 20 kilometers away from the house before you get to the nearest forest. So there's no way she could have gone over there, okay? So I take that as a hint, like we got nothing else to go on, so like I tell my dad where to go, and I don't tell him that she's actually gone missing. I just tell him that she's over there for some reason. I don't know why she want to be over there, but like I make up a story telling that she's over there. So they said goodbye, and we look for the closest forest nearby, which is, as I said, at least 10 or 20 kilometers away, at least. And also, just to know to you guys, if you're writing in the chat, I cannot see it because my screen is being weird, and I need to read this, and it's gonna be a drag to read this otherwise. So I'm gonna only talk to you guys after I've read this because I can't see the chat, and I'm very sorry for that. But yeah, this is where it goes dark, very dark. Okay, so after that happens, we drive to the nearest forest, and we drive to the forest, okay, and the first thing we see is blood. We see blood near the entrance, near the entrance to the forest. But it's not like a building, it's like a fence, you know, like an entrance fence system, like a fence all around the forest. Not like really amazing. You put on around the forest, you could easily get out and in of the fence, but there was a fence and like a fence entrance. And beside of it, we sit still in the car while we parked close to the entrance, but not very close because we was kind of scared because there was a lot of blood drips along the road onwards over to the fence, and we just sat still. We just sat still for like 2 minutes and trying to observe and be as silent as possible to see if we can spot anyone near us. There was no one, literally no one, not even anyone we could hear in the forest. There are no people around us or near us, or at all, and we keep looking, and then like remind you guys, we're still in the car. We're too scared to go outside because we're literally seeing blood on the floor outside. So we keep looking, closing our eyes very close to see if we could see other people long away. And we do that for some time while trying to look at the entrance. And what we see in front of the entrance, okay, we see body parts, a lot of blood, organs that look like it's been ripped apart, like a monster, like with very big claws. I don't know, something. And my sister's head is the only thing that is not being like ravaged or like destroyed, but instead it's just her head has been cut off from her body, and she looks like she was crying and screaming. Like that's the last expression she had on her face. before before she died, obviously, and now it's the face that's always on her head. And me and my dad, we were so freaking terrified. We got trauma of it, and it was so scary. It was so crazy. Like, we just stood there. Like, we just sit there in the car, and we had no idea how she got there. Like, how did she get to the forest, and who killed her? And also, like, this is where, like, a few moments after we get scared and we notice, I get like a remembrance of what used to happen. Like I used to actually live in the dream. Like, I started to remember a lot of stuff. Like, I used to actually, like, I've always been there. Like, I've lived there. Like, I've been in that world before. It was very creepy. And the thing I started to remember was, I started to remember, like, what was it? I started to remember my sister being killed all over and over again by something mysterious, but we still couldn't figure out. Like, it's like, I don't know, maybe over 20 times she's been killed. I don't know. It was so many times she's been killed. And you might ask, well, how did she get killed over and over? You can only die once. And this is where I also remember that, well, my mom couldn't handle her daughter kept being killed all over again. So she did the dumbest thing a person could do if a person get killed. Like, obviously she didn't get killed all over again all the time, but just the fact that she died once was enough for my mom. So she couldn't handle it. So she literally just made clones of my sister. So many times that no one would notice. And no one did notice, other than me and my father. We knew what was happening. And we couldn't do anything because, one, cloning is illegal. And we couldn't just, like, arrest her because we would also be involved. And, well, it would cause trauma and stuff and all that kind of stuff. So we just kind of just let her do it. So that every time my sister died, she got cloned. And some of the memories, for some weird reason, of her last life kept being, like, a little portion of it was kept in her head for some reason, even though we didn't have like a memory bank or anything to put in her head. So she kind of like, she was going through endless torture, and she was also like, I just wanted to help her. I wanted to stop her from dying and getting killed. But the thing is, we didn't know what killed her. We never got to like find out what happened. We had no idea. It was always in the perfect moments when no one was around, or like, didn't even have to be long. It could be seconds, and then she would like be gone, and sooner or later we would find her somewhere else where she's dead. So she just kept making clones and clones of my daughter. Sweet home Alabama. No, I mean like my sister. She kept making clones of my sister, and even though she don't get me wrong, she was still faced by it, the fact that she kept dying, but she never really. She was too scared to be with her own daughter on road trips or just anything else that counts as other things that's away from home. Like anything that's outside of her home, she was too scared to do with her daughter. So me and my dad was the only ones who were near my sister. So even though my mom was the one who kept making clones of my daughter, why do I keep ew? Even though my mom kept making clones of my sister, my mom was not the one who was getting traumatized, depressed, really sad. Oh, we were not getting insane, but we almost felt like it all the time. And also sad because we wanted to do everything we could to stop it from happening, but we can't. Like, so we kept getting traumatized. Me and my dad had seen my sister getting killed over and over again. Like, not getting killed, but like she was gone, and then afterwards seeing her in a very gruesome way, looked like she was tortured and then killed. Like finding her after she's already dead, like some time after, and like that's basically the weird thing. This is also the thing. This is where it psychologically gets scary for me, because even though I was scared, don't get me wrong, I was scared, and I was traumatized by the fact that I saw my own sister being ripped to shreds, like already have been ripped to shreds, and not just laying dead on the ground, like someone was just playing with her life. The thing that got physically traumatizing for me was the fact that I was not even that scared. Like, I was used to it. And that scared me instead, because it felt like I've experienced this like a million times. Like, I was so used to it that I got scared by myself because I was used to it. And after some time, my dad he was like, you know what, let's go home. And he was the same. He had the same look as him. My dad has the same look on his face as I did when that happened. He was also still scared and also had tears on his eyes, but he was used to it, like I was. It was scary on a whole other level. It was crazy, and then as I said, he starts driving us home, and I start dozing off, and then slowly afterwards I just I fall asleep, and I wake up in reality. That's the dream. That's the dream. That's what I just dreamt last night. Can you guys understand now why I'm saying that my dreams have scary scenarios, can still be fun, and it's crazy, but it's never dirty? Because this is just one, and I mean one of many dreams. I can still remember many of the other dreams I've had before, like in the past, but this is usually how my dreams are, though more epic to be exact. Not this normal and chill actually. Normally that a lot more happens and you have superpowers and stuff, but this is some of the normal dreams I have. And I'm like, when I wake up, I'm somewhat relieved that it was just a dream, because I don't know, I kind of knew it's a dream. It was too surreal, because I was like, what are the chances that my dad made a new friend which has just so happened to be in the same family as Mary and Lumi? Like, what are the chances? And I'm like, whatever. I didn't realize until obviously after I woke up. But yeah, so after that happened, then I wake up. I was like, what is wrong with me? Why do I have such dreams? Like, it was terrifying on a very weird psychological level, because I got to find out that I was used to it, and that was terrifying on its own, just on its own, like, and well, after that, I started writing down everything I've just told you guys now in the notepad, so I wouldn't forget it, even though I had a good memory of it, but still. So that's basically my dream. That's what I dreamt last night. Yeah, there's not really much else to say. So yeah, now you guys know the dream I've had in full explanation. And also, as I said before, this is a series I'm starting, so randomly some streams are just gonna be like this, while I talk, just gonna be talking streams, like explain the dream, or tell the dream I had, if of course there's enough content in the dream to talk about. If not, I'm gonna wait for it. It's gonna be something I use sometimes to do something else sometimes, because as I also said back in the day, I'm a variety streamer, whatever it's called. So, and that's true. like way more true than any other VTuber because, and I'm not bragging about this, I'm not trying to brag, but I'm just saying every other time I stream, it's always in a different game. I can't even remember one stream, not even one stream actually, where I played the same game like in the next stream, because that's how random I am, and also it's also because I can't really decide what I want to play, so every stream is guaranteed to have a different thing I'm doing. So in that sense, I'm a true variety. I'm a true variety streamer. So I play literally almost every time something else or do something else, as you guys saw right now. So yeah, I've been talking for an hour. Jesus Christ. And I know I usually make very short streams, but I have some things that I need to do off stream. I can't do it now, so this is sadly gonna end. This is a very short stream, I know, but this is just like this happens sometimes. So hopefully tomorrow is gonna be a longer stream, and I'm pretty sure it's gonna be tomorrow. I'm actually considering playing Towers of Fantasy because it just came. I don't know if it just came out, but I saw some other YouTubers playing it. I didn't even know it was out yet, so I've downloaded it, but I haven't started up yet. So tomorrow I'm probably gonna play Towers of Fantasy. If not, for some reason, it's probably gonna be Subnautica again, because I've actually started to like that game again, because I actually got progression through the game. So that's actually it. I know this was a very short stream, and I'm sorry for my English. It's crap. I don't know why it's so I can't even talk correctly today. But with that said, guys and girls, thank you guys for coming in and checking out my stream, even if you're just curious as to who I was, what I was doing, or what series I'm talking about, whatever. I still appreciate it. I know I probably sound fake, but I actually I very appreciate every person who comes in to check this, even if you're just curious, even if it's just for a second. I appreciate you guys. Yeah, I can even speak. I appreciate you guys for coming in and checking out just by curiosity itself, even if it just was like 2 or 3 seconds. I still appreciate it. Okay, so I'll see you guys next time. I will see if I can find someone else to host. If not, go watch another VTuber. Bye!